Welcome to Sports Savvy TV, folks. Like, comment, subscribe on your way in the building. Now let's get straight to it. You know, I hear a lot of people on social media talking about the only reason why the Washington Commanders lost was because they played on a short week. Me, for one, I'm not trying to hear any of that. Every team in the NFL has to play on Thursday night. It's a part of their job. These football players are getting paid millions of dollars. You telling me once or twice out of the football season, you telling me that they can't play on a short week? Nah, no excuses. The Washington Commanders got their ass beat. It's just point blank, period. They got destroyed out there. They didn't come to play. And that's a no-no, especially when you're coming on the road. You have to show up. As of right now, the Green Bay Packers are the best team in football. Yeah, I said it. They're the best team in football. And I'm not really a Packer fan, but I'm enjoying what I'm watching. Thank you, Jerry Jones, because you just gave the Packers a generational pass rusher. And his impact is being felt dearly around the NFL. You can't block Micah Parsons and Gary. Together, them two guys look like Von Miller and DeMarcus Ware in 2015. They were unstoppable, folks. They took turns on Josh Connery, the rookie offensive lineman. They simply took turns on that guy. They made him rethink, is he even good enough to play in the NFL? That's how bad that was. When you look at their running game, they don't have a running game that's going to put up big numbers, but they have a consistent running game. Josh Jacobs is about to tie LaDainian Tomlinson for scoring a touchdown in 12 straight games. That's simply remarkable. LaDainian Tomlinson was him. You couldn't stop that guy. Josh Jacobs had like 3.5 yards a carry, but they kept feeding him, and he just kept picking up first downs and getting yards. He had 23 carries. You know, he was solid out there. How you gonna stop him? You got Jordan Love. He could throw that ball early in the game, and then after he do what he do, they just pound that rock, and play great defense. Like Micah Parsons said, Jordan Love, you give me 20 points, bro, we winning the game. This team kind of reminds me of the Indianapolis Colts. I was a big fan of Peyton Manning. It's one of my favorite quarterbacks to ever play the game. When he was playing in that RCA Dome in that new stadium, you gave him a lead, game was over. Peyton struggled when he had to come from behind because the team wasn't built like that. The team was built to have a lead and cut them pass rushers off the leash and let them go to work. And this team is built like that. But this team is better because you see the Packers front seven, they are good. Edrin Cooper and the rest of them guys, they play ball, man. This is the most complete unit in football. Josh Jacobs had 84 yards and a touchdown. Jordan Love went 19 for 31, 292 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was flawless out there. When the Commanders didn't blitz him, he had almost a perfect rating. His offensive line is steady. They stout up front. Ain't too many defenses going to be able to touch Jordan Love because he got great command of this offense. LaFleur been with the Packers for 7 years. Players know this system in and out. Jordan Love seems like he done mastered the system. It's like when you watch the Packers, they are ahead of everyone. You know, just look at what this defense is doing through the first 8 quarters, first 2 weeks of football. 3 touchdowns allowed and 8 sacks. That's domination. And what's more impressive about this? Micah Parsons is only playing like 50% of the snaps. Can you imagine when he get to 75%, 95%? Man, the Green Bay Packers going to be wiping every team off the map. That's how good they are. Romeo Dobbs had 3 catches for 28 yards and a touchdown. Wicks, that boy was getting open every play. 10 yards a pop, 11 yards a pop. 4 catches for 44 yards. You got Kraft. He looking like one of the best tight ends in the game. 6 catches for 124 yards, 1 touchdown. He was cooking out there, man. I mean, simply cooking. You got Josh Connery. He was getting barbecued by Parsons and Gary. You know? Like, that was really embarrassing out there. What's up with Marshawn Lattimore? When he was with the New Orleans Saints, he was one of the best lockdown corners, man-to-man corners. Now, since he's been with the Commanders, he been getting toast. Going all the way back to last year. I thought he was going to come into this year with something to prove after getting toasted for the most part after the trade last year. Man, that boy's still getting toast, man. He choco black right now. You feel me? He getting destroyed out there, man. You got Luvu, the linebacker. He missed too many tackles. You know, he going for the knockout shot instead of going and make the simple, smart tackle. You know, the only bright spot for the Commanders was that the run defense was nice. Kinlaw, Armstrong, Payne, Wagner, they all were nice against the run. Other than that, this team got annihilated by the best team in football. When you look at the Commanders, Jaden Daniels looked lifeless out there. He went 24 for 42, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, 17 yards rushing. It was like he was scared to run the ball. They had no run game at all. I know they lost Austin Eckler with the Achilles injury, but before he got hurt, he wasn't really doing anything. Deebo Samuel had 7 catches for 44 yards and a touchdown. Noah Brown is simply awful. Zach Ertz in there doing it by himself. He had 6 catches for 64 yards and a touchdown, man. And what's up with Terry McLaurin? He just got his big contract and ain't doing nothing. It seems like he cannot create space. He can't create no separation from the DBs. And that's sad because they paying him to be the number 1 and number 2 wide receiver, man. This is why teams don't be want to give players them big contracts. Because once they get them big contracts, it's like they don't care. They don't go all out. Terry McLaurin was nowhere to be found. And Jaden Daniels needed him in this game. You know? Cliff Kingsbury, he need to take the training wheels off of Jaden Daniels. This is his 2nd year. We know what to expect from him. That middle school, high school offense that they running, teams done figured that out. He better try another game plan, man. Because if he go into the next game with this same game plan, it could be the end for the Washington Commanders. Mark my words, man. For real.